Again, welcome again, and congratulations to all of you for being selected as businesses that have been approved by the Standard Bank initiative, whereby you will be getting a chance of receiving up to 50,000 rands worth of matching funds. Today will be our first training session. We will be training you on crowdfunding and how to navigate a crowdfunding campaign. But before we start, I'd like to interact with all of you just to allow you guys to share who you are, what your business is about, before we proceed with the training. So I'll be calling out individuals just to quickly themselves. Be as possible. So maybe I can start with Margaret. Margaret, maybe you can quickly unmute and tell us more about you and your business.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Margaret.
My name is Margaret Ndandwe. I'm a co-founder of Stangini Farming Enterprise. Stangini, we are busy with farming, with vegetables, macadamia nuts, and a bit of livestock. We're based in Mpumalanga, in Barberton area.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Margaret, and thank you for joining the session. Next, we can go to Joseph. Joseph, quickly just unmute, let us know more about you and your business.
Good day, everyone. My name is Joseph Mapela. I'm the co-founder of Nkomasan's Trading and Project. We specialize in water leakage, buildings, many things that we do. We are based in the rural areas of Makapanstad, but normally we move around like around Pretoria. Thanks for inviting me for the meetings.
Thank you for joining, Joseph. Next, I would like to request, I can see Shu Hassan. If you don't mind, you can quickly unmute and tell us more about you and your business.
Hi, I'm Shu from Lavender's Water, and we are one of the few natural alkaline bottled water producers in South Africa.
Awesome.
We operate in a rural area between Brits and Tabazimbi. We provide employment to 6 rural youth, right? In our company, we only hire between the ages of 18 to 25, right? And the reason for that is that they've got to actually study whilst they're working for us. They have a time period of 10 years, at which point they would then become suppliers to the company in terms of services and things. Awesome. Currently, we sell our product on Takealot and Macro Online, and I can show you. Just see back in. Okay, there we go. We got all of these orders going out to Macro now. So business is really picking up, and the one good thing is that with the recent cholera outbreaks and the state of the water infrastructure across the country, we offer our customers a very competitive quality product in the market.
Awesome, that's great. Thank you so much, Shuk, and thank you for joining today's session. I'll go next to who's Sweetness. Sweetness, maybe you can quickly introduce yourself and your business. Tell us what you do.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good day, everyone. My name is Sweetness Shabangu. I'm based at Bombela, which is in Nelspruit. What we do is we facilitate green economy through trash. We work directly with waste collectors, and we work with community members what we do is we go out there to community members who normally collect waste, and we buy the waste from them in order to create employment and also to create a clean environment. And we go to school for awareness in terms of the importance of the environment and how can you turn your waste and trash into cash. So more or less that's what we do. Thank you.
Thank you as well, Sweetness. I may not be able to cover every single individual in them being able to share what they do, but we will do so towards the end of the session. I would like to jump into the actual training so that we're able to cover as much as possible. So I'd like to also quickly introduce myself. My name is Rose Dungo. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. I work at Thundafund as the project manager, and I've been working here for approximately 3 years now. Thundafund is a crowdfunding platform that allows businesses to raise funds for their business to achieve some of the goals that they do have for their own business. We are based in 3 countries, that is South Africa since 2013, in Kenya since 2019, and in the Gambia since 2020. We were able to gain a very amazing opportunity with Standard Bank to support businesses by giving them up to 50,000 Rand worth of matching funds, whereby for every Rand you raise on your campaign, Standard Bank is able to match and add an additional Rand with terms and conditions applied. However, the goal of today's training session is to introduce you to crowdfunding, because with crowdfunding is how you'll be able to access these funds. So before I start with my presentation, I'm curious to know if anyone has heard of the term crowdfunding before, or if this is something new. So maybe Sweetness, have you ever heard of crowdfunding before? Is this something new for you?
I've heard about crowdfunding in terms of where different organizations or individuals will go out to different communities or whether sectors, business sectors, and then they will state their cause, you know, in terms of what they need the funding for.
Yeah.
And then it's either different organization or different individual. Then they will assist towards that cause by donating funding that there's one person or there's one organization would have been, I mean, in the cause in terms of how they're going to utilize the fund and all those things. So the donation will go towards that cause. That's my understanding of the crowdfunding.
Awesome, that is very correct. So we do have different types of crowdfunding. We have the donation one that Sweetness has explained, where you find different organizations or individuals are raising money towards a particular cause. It could be either raising money to contribute towards a children's home. It could be maybe assisting someone with their medical bill. That is still considered crowdfunding, but it's for donation purposes. However, the crowdfunding we will be discussing today is towards businesses. And what we want to teach you and guide you on is how can I set up a crowdfunding campaign for my own business to raise funds for my business. Of course, this will be navigated totally differently in comparison to donation. However, we have seen quite a number of businesses successfully raise funds for their own business once they're able to navigate it well, okay? So I will proceed to share my screen with the presentation. Kindly let me know if you're able to view the presentation. Joseph, are you able to see the screen? Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, I'm able to see everything.
Okay, great. So what we'll be discussing today is the art of crowdfunding. How are you able to navigate a crowdfunding campaign that will work well for your business? And we normally divide crowdfunding into different sections. We have the preparation of your campaign. Once the campaign goes live, how do you navigate it to allow you to raise funds? And also, how are you able to follow up on the people you interacted with after the campaign comes to an end? In today's session, we will be concentrating more on preparing, because that's the most important part. How do you prepare and create your campaign in order to allow you to now have a ready campaign to post live? Okay. So why crowdfunding for a business? From our experience in terms of guiding businesses is that crowdfunding is very effective when it comes to raising funds, but also creating that community for your business. The success of a business is not only raising funds, but it's also being able to market yourself out there, being able to create a new community, because what you want for your business is sustainability. You are able to raise funds, but how do you sustain your business with those funds and allow you to grow and increase your market as well? And through crowdfunding, there are multiple advantages. Of course, the main one that people know is raising funds, but we also want to make sure that you do understand the other benefits of crowdfunding, so that once you have a campaign live, you're able to take advantage of those benefits as well. So I'll go through 4 main benefits of crowdfunding. And the first one is being able to access capital or raise funds. Sometimes you find that businesses maybe are not able to raise funds, gain funds through the traditional way, which could be through bank loans or through a venture capitalist. So some of the things they ask themselves is, how am I able to raise funds so that I can kind of take my business to the next level or sustain the current business that I have? During COVID, we noticed a spike in crowdfunding campaigns because quite a number of businesses were affected by COVID. And in order for them to sustain their business, they did need to gain funds, and loans were just not one of the ways they were able to do so. So you do realize that there are people who are willing to help, they just don't know how to help a business. But by setting up a crowdfunding campaign, you're able to allow individuals to support your business and help you raise capital for your business. Another advantage that we see in crowdfunding is being able to engage with customers and kind of identify new customers. You realize that as you're running your crowdfunding campaign, you're actively interacting with your existing networks, and through them, you're accessing new networks. It's a good way to engage with your customers, get feedback from them about your business, and also just create beneficial networks within it. Like we said, networking is really important when it comes to different businesses and initiatives. You're able to come across new people and individuals who can support your business or who can give you advice on what you can do better in your business. So we do encourage people to take advantage of engaging with your customers as much as you can as you continue to navigate your crowdfunding campaign. Another advantage or benefit is validation. So not only do existing businesses crowdfund, also individuals who want to start a new business do take advantage of crowdfunding. From there, they're able to validate their business. They're able to get feedback and see whether the aspects of their business do make sense. You know, is there longevity in my business? What can I do, or what can I adjust according to the market to make sure that my business continues to be valid within the market? So these are some of the things that people are able to take advantage of, being able to get feedback and being able to understand whether the business is valid, and if not, what adjustments can be made. And of course, another benefit is being able to increase exposure. As you run your crowdfunding campaign, you realize you're reaching out to as many people as possible. People that you know, people that you may not know. You start using social media as a way to reach out to more people. And what this does is that it brings more exposure to your business. You may find that an individual maybe has 500 contacts on their phone, but only a very small percentage knows what their business is about and what they do. The more you engage with your networks, the more you engage with the crowd, the more you increase exposure, and the more people know the existence of your business, and people are able to reach out to you whenever they need anything related to your business. So exposure is definitely good, because this does bring sustainability of a business, because it continues bringing more customers into your business. So there are different stages of crowdfunding. We have the pre-live. This is the preparation stage. This is the stage where you are creating the content of your campaign. And what it involves is creating a compelling campaign, that is creating a compelling story. You know, it is you being able to develop a market or being able to develop a strategy on how you reach out to people to help you raise funds. It also allows you to identify potential supporters, you know, and it also encourages you to set goals and rewards. So from the previous email that I sent, I requested you to ask yourself 2 questions. Question number 1 was, how much would you like to raise for your crowdfunding campaign? And the second question was, how would you use those funds? One of the best ways is to ask yourself, what are the current needs of your business? So maybe to engage with you guys more, I'm curious to know, what are some of the needs you have for your business currently? Maybe Joseph, you can share with us, as you look at your business, what are some of the things you hope to achieve in your business that you are yet to achieve at this point in time?
Most of the things that I want to achieve is sometimes you know that you can fund the customers, so you have to buy the materials so that you can be able to do many things. But at the moment, you find out that you don't have the capital to go and buy that material, so that you have to go and lend the money, or there's a certain RFQs that you have to do, but you don't have the money for them.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for us. Yeah.
Okay, great. And Shu, if you are asked, what are some of the things you would use for the money that you raise? What would that be for your business?
Some of the things it will be that I have to buy.
Yes.
Yeah. So on our side, it's basically growing the company. We have a serious situation where we have some very big demand from the major retailers, but right now our plant is not compliant according to GFSI standards.
Yeah.
So we need to upgrade our plant. And also the infrastructure in the area that we are in. We do not have 3-phase power. So we actually have to put up our own solar farm there with 3-phase to actually even power a full GFSI spec factory, you know. And logistics is our other key issue. The fact that right now we only have a 1-ton bakkie that we are using, and we need to get ourselves a motor vehicle like the 5-ton, 10-ton truck, which will significantly reduce our costs and increase our revenue.
Yes. Okay, great. No, it's good. I'm glad you guys are able to answer this question, because as you set up your crowdfunding campaign, it's very important for you to first understand, how much do I want to raise and how do I plan to use the funds? It's important for you to create a budget. The same way you would create a budget for your household and decide that this amount goes to shopping, this amount goes to bills. It is also important for you to create a budget for the amounts that you hope to raise. And the reason why we say this is important is, number 1, it allows you to use your money carefully and in an organized way. And number 2, it also allows the group of people you're reaching out to see that you are already organized and planned, and you already have an idea of how you're going to use the funds. It's very hard for someone to support your campaign if you don't even know how much you want or how you plan to use the money. You will seem like someone who hasn't planned themselves well, and once you receive the money, they will have this idea that you may not use it according to how you have for your business. You know, they may assume, oh, maybe you use it for personal use because you haven't really planned yourself. So it's a very important question for you to ask yourself, how much do I want to raise? How do I plan to use the money? Another thing that you need to consider with your budget is you need to look at the most immediate needs of your business. There are so many needs for a business in order for it to grow, but it's important for you to start with the most immediate needs and raise money for that first. Okay. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce your name well, but Tekiso, maybe you can quickly share, how you would use the money that you're hoping to raise for your business. And you can also share what your business is about.
Okay, first of all, I will try to increase the market because I realized that most of the beneficiary they didn't get my product. Even I will try to advertise on local newspapers, try to create more posts around the area, which is district where business located. I'm selling grocery, animal feed, also garden tools and fence material, and so on.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know.
Yeah, even
yes.
Even last I purchased a car, a second-hand car. I realized later some default appear. Now it costs a lot of money to fix it. When I get the money, I will try to fix my current car, because most of people, they know it is branded, so that I can get more clientele.
That's good. Like I said, it's very important to be able to identify the needs of your business. And those are some of the things you want to highlight in your campaign. So like we said, the pre-live stage is the planning stage, and this is the stage you're currently in, whereby we're helping you plan and create your campaign. And these are some of the questions you need to ask yourself. Like we said, I'll repeat again, the pre-planning stage involves being able to create a compelling campaign and a good story. We will go through the elements of a campaign, being able to identify how you're planning to market your campaign or how you're planning to reach out to people. It's important to identify who you will be reaching out to. Majority of the funds you raise will come through your existing networks. So it's important to identify the people you'll be reaching out to. And fourth is setting your goals, that is your funding goals, and also some of the rewards you put in your campaign as an incentive to draw in more clients. We will go through an actual campaign just to give you context on how it looks like, and because the next assignment will be now creating the content for your campaign, okay? Now, the next stage of a campaign is when a campaign goes live. You've created your campaign, you have all the content, and now it's live. So what do you do once a campaign is live? Number one, the most important thing is being able to promote your campaign. In order for people to support you, they need to be aware of the existence of your campaign. Promoting your campaign can start even before a campaign goes live. You know, you can start notifying your friends, your family, your networks that you are creating a campaign, and you would definitely appreciate their support so that they can also plan themselves financially to support you. You know, as a campaign is live, it's important to engage with your supporters as much as you can. Some people need reminding, and you need to remind them as much as you can to support your business if it's something that promised to do so. Once your campaign is live and you're also interacting with people, you find that people have more questions about your business. A campaign is able to give more information, and more information also creates more curiosity. So it's important for you to be prepared to answer as many questions. And questions are not only about your business, it's also about the funding. You know, you'll be asked, why are you raising funds? What are you planning to do with the funds? How will this help? How will this help your business in the next year or two? So be prepared to answer any questions that may come your way, because it is important to show that you are very organized and you do have a plan with the raised funds. And also just showing transparency and progress. You can be updating people on the progress you have so far, that this is how much you've raised, you are remaining with this amount, you have this days remaining, and just showing transparency of the progress is important, because people love to, would be more willing to support individuals who are honest and vulnerable about their crowdfunding journey. So we will be tackling the live stage in the next training. And the last one is the post-live. That is, your campaign has come to an end. You've raised the funds. What do you do? For those who purchased rewards, it's important to fulfill and share those rewards. We'll talk more about rewards. It's important to share updates with your supporters. Actively let them know how much you've been able to raise. Continue updating them with what you're doing with the raised funds. And this creates a very good relationship between you and your supporters. And of course, maintaining that relationship. And how you maintain relationship is just by constantly updating them on the progress, constantly updating them on the achievements, and it allows them to feel like they're in this journey with you, since they also did support you. Okay, so these are the three main stages of a campaign, but today we will be focusing more on the pre-live, on what are the things you need to do before your campaign goes live. Okay, so the pre-live stage involves a couple of tasks. Number one is setting your goal and creating a budget of the amount that you'd like to raise. I would encourage that after today's session, I will give you an assignment. After today's session, sit down and come up with a goal of your campaign and actively write down a budget. The same way you'll do a budget for your household or shopping, write down a budget of how you would use the funds. Review it. If you have people that you work with, a partner, do this together as a team and see whether that goal makes sense. Okay. Number two, it's important to create a compelling story and video. You will need to create a video for your campaign. You will need to create a story for your campaign, because people will be willing to support you if they understand your business and the journey you've been through to get to where you are in your business. And also if they're able to see a video of what your business is about. We'll talk more about this. Number three, setting up rewards and incentives for your campaign is important. So like we said, how you navigate a donation campaign and how you navigate a crowdfunding campaign for a business is very different. When it comes to donations, people are more willing to support an initiative. Like Sweetness shared with us, she's heard about crowdfunding through organizations that are raising funds for a particular initiative or supporting a particular cause. There is very little, there isn't much convincing that needs to be done. It's more of whether your heart is willing to support and you proceed to support. However, when it comes to a business, you need to kind of add incentives that encourage people to support your business, because people want to get something out of supporting your business. The concept that people have is, if a business gains profit, why am I supporting you? You know, and sometimes you just need that capital to take your business to the next level or to sustain your business. If you're going through a rough patch and you know business is a bit low, in order for you to sustain your staff and your operations, you need that support. But sometimes people want an incentive out of it. What do I get out of it? So we do encourage people setting up different rewards, and we will take you through that as well. The fourth thing in the pre-live stage is identifying your target audience. Like I said, majority of your supporters are people that you already know. How do you identify this audience and how do you navigate them in order for them to be more willing to support your campaign? And also the fifth one is coming up with a marketing strategy or a strategy to reach out to these individuals. So you do have a list of people, but how do you reach out to them? How do you communicate to them that will allow them or convince them to be willing to support your campaign? So these are some of the things we'll be tackling today. Any questions up to there? Okay. I can see more people have joined us. So just to break a bit from the session, I'd love to have Grant. Maybe you can unmute. Tell us who you are and what your business is about.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Grant Harmse. I own a company called GC Printers. We are not your traditional internet cafe print shop, right? So our target audience is mostly corporate individuals. I need to raise money to set up a proper shop. I'm still working from home. Capital will be used to buy existing or more expansion equipment. We have a unique focus on corporate apparel. We also do customized printing, signage and branding as well. And we need the space, office space, to actually start working. I've got one particular client that has about 30,000 worth of t-shirts that needs to be done. However, they want to come out to the place to actually see our operations before they give us this order.
Yeah.
And at this moment, I cannot do those type of quantities working from home. I've got a certified graphic designer on staff as well. So we actually do a lot of digital communications, whether it is marketing campaigns, advertising, and stuff like that. I'm currently working on an international boxing convention taking place on the 24th of March. So we need the capital to actually acquire the equipment that we would need, because our clients are not your walk-in everyday 10 photocopies here or 20 prints here. We focus on corporate clients where we do 100 annual return books. We do 500 company profiles. We are a production company. So we print volume instead of individual prints. But we plan to become one of the biggest digital printing companies in Cape Town. Our objective is to have a 24-hour print facility within the next 2 to 3 years.
Awesome, that's great. I'm glad you've been able to join our session, and we do hope that this training and the crowdfunding campaign will also allow you to reach those goals that you've set for your business. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now we'll talk more about the pre-live or the planning stage of your campaign. So one of the things you need to, like you said before, is setting your planning. Number one, determine your funding needs. In order for you to set up a goal, you need to ask yourself, what are your immediate needs? And it's important to set a very realistic goal. Sometimes people have a goal of, we've seen people set up R1 million, 2 million rand. But the question is, we're not saying it's a bad amount, but our question is, do you have enough networks to allow you to reach that goal? It's okay to start with smaller goals and allow yourself to maybe set up a follow-up campaign if you feel like you have more networks you can reach out to. We did have an individual set 20,000 as her goal, and she was able to raise 90,000. So even when you're setting up your goal on the campaign, you are not limited to only raising that amount. You can even raise more than the estimated goal. You are allowed to adjust the goal you had set up if you feel like it's too high or too low. However, when changing, we do encourage that you reach out to your people who have already supported you, just so that you can show transparency of the changes you've made. So one of the things, or one of the ways I can encourage one to establish a goal is, first, write down your immediate needs. Second, establish your existing networks and approximately how much you think they have, the capacity they have to raise. And from there, create like an average amount, From that amount, create the budget for it. See whether those are things that, see whether that budget is enough for you to kind of cover the most immediate needs you have at this point in time, okay? Another way of kind of giving you an idea of what would be a good funding goal is looking at similar campaigns to yours or similar businesses to yours that have set up campaigns. We will be sharing like a document that has campaigns in different categories of businesses, if it's fashion, if it's agriculture, if it's a community-based one, just to allow you to see some of the goals they set up, the number of supporters they were able to gain, and so on, okay? To give you a better understanding. So in as much as we are training you, it's also good to do some research on your own, just to see what are some of the goals similar campaigns to yours have been able to set up as their goal. okay? Another thing to consider is also how long your campaign will run for. There are different periods of time you can set up your campaign. It's very flexible according to you. The initial goal we always encourage people to set is 30 days first. Set up a campaign for 30 days. If you're able to raise the money before the end of 30 days, you can end your campaign early. If you realize you need more time, it is possible to extend your campaign. But looking at the time frame, ask yourself, how much do you think you'll be able to raise within that period of time as well? You know, there are certain strategies that we set up when it comes to your campaign. Some of the things we say is set your campaign just before people are paid. And we do have a set goal as to when we want your campaign to go live. We would want your campaign to go live by the 22nd of this month. And the reason is because we want to target just before people are paid, because that's the time when they're a bit more financially friendly and also financially flexible, but also they have budgeted you in as well in order for them to support your campaign, you know? So it's important to also consider how long you want your campaign to run in order for you to have also an idea of how much you're hoping to raise within that period of time. Another thing you need to also factor in when you put in your budget is the platform fee and some of the expenses you may incur with your campaign. Some people may decide to market their campaign on social media and set up social media ads. It's important to budget that into your campaign. Our platform fee takes approximately 7% of how much you raise. It is also important to factor that in. We will be sharing the breakdown of how much is taken from your campaign, but it's also important for you to also understand that there are expenses, you know, so that you're able to budget this in and it doesn't take away from the amount of money you want to raise for your business. So it's important to also consider these expenses when you're creating your budget. And last of all is also having a backup plan in case you don't reach your funding goal. You know, you will receive the amount that you are able to raise, but it's important to ask yourself, in case, let's say you set up a goal of 300,000 Rand and you're able to raise 200,000. It's important to also tell yourself, if I don't reach the dream goal that I've set, am I still able to achieve other goals with whatever I'm able to raise, you know? In case it's an immediate need, do I have any alternative way of receiving funds to reach that goal? So it's important to always have a backup just in case you exhaust all your networks and you're not able to raise any more funds. So it's always important to keep all these things in mind. As well, since you have been approved for the Standard Bank initiative, remember that for every Rand you raise, you're able to receive another Rand to up to 50,000 Rand. So that's also an amount you need to keep in mind as you budget as well, okay? Yeah, so that is some of the tips we give in terms of the funding goal. I don't know whether there are any questions in regards to the funding goal before we go to the next topic. Okay, so the next thing is creating a compelling story and video. It's important, this is a very important part of your campaign because this allows your networks to understand you and your business a bit better. It also allows people to confirm the existence of your business due to the video, as well as the story and the images you include. So the reason why a story is important is because you are able to explain your journey. You're able to share some of the things you've been able to achieve in your business, because people are more willing to support businesses that have been able to achieve goals on their own. You know, they want to see that you've already been able to put in the hard work. You just need that extra support or push or nudge in order for you to kind of go to the next level of your business. So it's very important to create a compelling story. I always say when you're writing your campaign story, it's important to start from the beginning. And starting from the beginning is, how did you come up with the idea? You know, when did you launch your business? What products or services did you start with? How many team members were you, or did you start alone? And then clearly show like the progress over the years, allowing people to see your journey. You want people to see the story of your business through your eyes, to understand all the sacrifices you made and all the hard work you put in to get to where your business is at this point in time. So it's important to start with a hook. It's important to engage people from the get-go. So when you're writing a story, when you're writing a business, think of a great hook that you can start with to get people engaged. People are busy. People have so many other things they're doing. So you want to make sure that you engage them and have them hooked to that video and story for them to watch the whole video or to read the whole story. Okay. We always say you can always ask for assistance when it comes to creating a story, when it comes to creating a video, so that you're able to approach it in the best way possible. When you're writing a story, tell a story. Don't only state facts. Take people through a journey to understand you and your business more. So it's okay to throw in facts here and there, but don't have your story be all about facts. Allow them to just read the story the same way they would read a novel or a book, because that is what will engage them to want to know more about this campaign. So another thing is to show, don't only tell. In the campaign, you do have the capacity to add images of either the services or the products that you have. And of course, the video is also a great opportunity to show some of the things that you do. The reason why we encourage you to show is that it shows validity of your business. It shows the existence of your business. It confirms to people that this does exist. So it's very important to show what you do in your campaign, okay? Another thing is keeping it concise. People don't have time to watch a very long video. We encourage that your video be 1.5 minutes to 3 minutes maximum if possible. The shorter the video, the better, but make sure that within that period of time, you're able to share as much as you can, but also do not overwhelm people with too much. Share with them some of the important things about the business. Most importantly, just explain to them why this campaign is important to you and what the difference it will make to your business. Like we said, you have to captivate people as much as you can, give a compelling video and story. So take advantage of that. Another thing is be authentic and be yourself. Do not pretend, do not create this whole new story just to gain sympathy and allow people to support you. No. If your networks know you, they'll know whether this is the true you. So it's very important to be authentic. It's very important to be yourself and just show how passionate you are about your business within the videos and the stories, because this will allow your project to shine through, and it will also allow people to really want to join this journey of helping your business grow. And also the final thing is making sure you have a call to action. Clearly indicate what are some of the things you will be achieving with the raised funds. It's very important to be very clear with how the funds will be used. So these are some of the things we encourage that you have in your story and also in your video. We will be sharing links to campaigns just to allow you to review how they approach their campaign and see whether you can gain any tips from them as well. Okay, so any questions up to there? Okay. Feel free to add any questions in the comment section. We'll approach those ones towards the end of the campaign. The training, sorry. The next thing we'll be talking about is setting up rewards. Like we said, how we approach this crowdfunding is very different from donation. Donation, people are more willing to give just because they want to support. But for businesses, you have to set up rewards. You have to set up incentives that allow people to want to support your campaign. So number one, it is important to offer different rewards of different amounts, okay? People have different financial capabilities, so it's important to set up at least a minimum of 3 rewards of different amounts. I'll give an example of what a reward would look like. For example, I am a writer and I am raising funds to launch my book. What are some of the rewards I would consider? Maybe exclusivity, being able to give early access to a specific group of people. And by maybe contributing 200 Rand, I'll give you early access to this book, and another one could be a signed copy, for maybe 500 Rand, I'll give you a signed copy of this book. Some people who have good social media platforms offer social media shout outs as a reward. Other people offer discounts as a reward. There's so many incentives, but it's also very important to make sure that your rewards don't take away from the amount you're raising. That's why when you're doing your budgeting, you need to consider the platform fee. You also need to consider any marketing you plan to do, but also consider the rewards that you're setting up. Rewards can either be physical or non-physical items. And when it comes to physical items, you need to consider that there is an amount of capital that needs to be put in to set up those rewards. So it's very important to make sure that when you're setting up your rewards, it is budget friendly. It is rewards that your networks are interested in. And we also encourage that they be rewards that are kind of linked to your business so that it allows people to interact with your business more. So number 2, ensure your rewards are relevant to your project and to your audience. Like I said, if the rewards are linked to your business, the better. And if they are appealing to your target audience, even more better, because you want to make sure you're putting rewards that people actually find value in, okay? Make sure your rewards are achievable. Don't create expensive rewards that take too much away from the amount you're raising. Don't set up rewards that you will struggle delivering. If you feel like shipping will be a struggle for you, set up non-physical rewards. Discounts has been one of the main rewards that people set up, for their campaign. But also even in the service industry, you are able to also offer rewards as well. So it's very important to sit down and ask yourself, what rewards will work best for my campaign? In this setting, it's also important to do research of similar businesses that have set up a crowdfunding campaign, just to see some of the rewards they were able to set up. So we will be sharing this with you as well to see which category you fall in and whether those rewards will make sense to your business as well. Also keep it simple. It's important to keep your rewards simple. Don't make it too complicated so that it's easier for you to fulfill, and it's also easier for your supporters to understand what rewards are available and how they'll be able to receive it and so on. So like I said, rewards is a great incentive to bringing in more people to support your campaign. So it's very important to take time to figure out what would be good rewards for my campaign, okay? The next thing is identifying your audience. Like we said, majority of your supporters are people you know, but how do you identify these people? We have categorized them into 3 different categories. And keep in mind, we will be sharing this presentation just to allow you to go back and go through the information. The first group of audience is the first degree. These are the committed people. These are the people who are closest to you, closest to your campaign, closest to your business, people who know you, people who you know as well, people that you trust. Who are these individuals? These are your friends, these are your families, these are maybe your customers that you know on a personal level, and these are people that are the easiest to reach out to, the easiest to convert and have them support your campaign. And it's also important to take advantage of these people. You find that maybe your brother knows 10 people who he can reach out to. Your friend knows another 10 people who they can reach out to. So navigate these people and encourage them to share your campaign with their existing networks to allow you to reach out to a bigger group of people, okay? The second is the second degree of networks. These are the inspired people. So these are people who know you, who may know about your business, but you may not know them on a personal level. So these are mostly people on your mailing list, people who follow your Facebook or social media page for your business. These are customers maybe who purchase your items that you may not know them on a one-on-one. So it's important to make the effort to reach out to these people. So through social media, you find people post their campaign on social media and encourage people to support. Mailing list, you can get all those emails and reach out to them, send an email to them. If you have customers that are, you have their contacts, you can send out messages encouraging them to support you, and it's also a good way to interact with more customers and create better relationships with them, okay? And then the third group of people are people who do not know you and you do not know them. So this will be extremely new people, extremely new individuals who will now come to learn what your business is about, and you will be able to interact with them. And like I said, some of the best ways to reach out to these people are through your first and second degree networks. Your friends and your family have people that they don't know you, you don't know them. This is the connecting factor. They're able to connect you to them by having them share your campaign to them. So it's important to be able to reach out to all these networks in order for you to gain as many people as possible to fund towards your campaign, okay? And that's why we say it's important to have a convincing story and video, so that for those who don't know you, they're still encouraged or want to support you, irrespective of maybe not knowing you on a personal level. Now, the outreach strategy. This is how do I reach out to people? First, it's important to establish those people, and that is from the previous notes. That is the different degree of networks. List down all those people to know who you're reaching out to. It's important to consider what is the best mode of communication. Some people respond better via phone call, others respond better via one-on-one basis, others respond okay with WhatsApp messages, others are okay with email. So it's important to consider all modes of communication when you're reaching out to your networks. Leverage your social media. It's important to, social media is very influential, and it's important to take advantage of it. That is, if you already do, continue taking advantage of it. If you haven't, it's okay to consider. If you haven't, you'll only get so much traction for it, but it's a good start to engage people, because in the long term, social media does help you create, reach out to a bigger market and allow more people to know that your business does exist. I personally find myself going to social media to kind of look for different services that I'm in need of, or different products that I'm in need of. And you want to be among the people who are out there, or among the options for people to kind of interact with. So it's important to consider social media as a way of gaining more supporters. Email marketing. If this works for you, venture into it. If it doesn't work for you, like we say, different marketing tools work for different businesses. It's important to establish or kind of recognize what marketing strategy will work best for my business. If you know you have a good social media following, we ask you to leverage that. If you interact with your customers more on email, leverage that as well. And if you communicate with them more on phone call and WhatsApp, use that as well. When communicating, use your rewards and the incentives as a way of drawing them in. Like we said, people like to see value out of their support, and it's important to use those incentives. And if you feel like having paid advertisement will work for you, that would be great. Again, remember to budget this in your crowdfunding campaign so that you're able to market as well, okay? If this is, if social media ads work for you, it's important to use that if you feel like it will give you good traction. So these are the 5 things that we encourage that you consider as you plan for your campaign. Not only are you planning the content that will go in the campaign, it's also figuring out the strategy you will use to communicate to people, and also making sure that you've reached out to as many networks as possible, okay? Any questions up to there before I go more into the Standard Bank partnership? So I have a question in the comment section. So Margaret is asking, what if the business doesn't have a website? How can you assist by getting a website? So I can see, Grant, you've reached out to Margaret. That's great. You can be assisted by Grant. But also, we do kind of say that your campaign can also kind of work as your website temporarily before you're able to launch an actual website. We say this because when you're setting up your campaign, you're adding all the information. You're adding links or social media links to your campaign. You're adding contacts. You're adding information about your products and services, and you're allowing people to engage more with what you do. So sometimes we find that campaigns that have come to an end still use their campaign to use it as a way to share with people to learn more about their business. But Grant, thank you for reaching out to Margaret. And in case anyone else, I guess, Grant, you would be able to kind of guide them or help them when it comes to setting up a website. Okay. Any other question? I think because of time, I'll quickly jump into the Standard Bank partnership. So how we were able to have you join this training session is through an online Google form that we set up as the Thundafund team, whereby we are reaching out to as many businesses as possible to allow them to gain this great opportunity of receiving matching funds. So how this partnership started with Standard Bank is back in 2021 when there were the riots taking place in KZN. Standard Bank wanted to see how they could find a way to support businesses in a way that would help them in the long term. And for them, crowdfunding was one of the ways they thought it would be beneficial to businesses. Not only are you raising funds and gaining matching funds, like you said, you're also taking advantage of all the other benefits of crowdfunding. You are creating a new market and reaching out to new people. You're gaining feedback to your business to see what would be best to apply to your business or what changes need to make, because at the end of the day, these matching funds will only come once, but we want you to gain as much advantage of it and kind of allow these funds to allow you to access even bigger opportunities in your business. Okay. And that's why we say it's very important to budget the amount you're hoping to raise, because we want this to help you and help your business in the long term. Okay. And through that, we've been able to interact with a lot of businesses, and only a number of businesses are able to qualify. Businesses that have existing Standard Bank accounts and businesses that fall under a particular category, and that's how you are able to be selected. We have had quite a number of businesses take this opportunity and raise funds. Some have been able to deplete and gain all 50,000 Rand. Others were able to gain partial amount and are planning to set up a follow-up campaign to raise more funds to kind of receive the remainder of the amount. But it has been a great opportunity for so many businesses because it definitely has helped them. We are also partnered with another organization called the South African Business Resource Institute. So they are also assisting us as well in this partnership. And what they do is that they help and support businesses with different resources that would help within their business. We will be sharing their details with you as well to interact with them more. So one of the major benefits, of course, for qualifying for this is that you're able to receive 50,000 Rand worth of matching funds. However, in order for you to receive this, you must activate it by raising 3,000 Rand on your own. Once you're able to raise 3,000, we match 3,000, and any other amount you raise after that, we match equivalently. So you must raise 3,000 Rand on your own first, and then we match it with 3,000 from Standard Bank. And after that, if you raise 1 Rand, we match 1 Rand. If you raise 20 Rand, we match 20. And if you're able to raise 1,000 Rand, we match 1,000 Rand. Okay. It is also important to know that you as a business or as an individual, you are allowed to fund your own campaign, but you're only allowed to fund a maximum of 2,500 Rand only. The rest should be raised by other individuals, other networks that you have in order for you to raise funds for your campaign until you're able to deplete the 50,000 matching funds. You're not limited to only raising 50,000. You are encouraged to raise as much as you can. We have had businesses raise even more than 100 Rand. That means they've been able to raise the 50 from the networks, they're able to receive the matching funds and still raise even more after that. So you are not limited. The matching funds are just an incentive to kind of help you as well, give you more funds for your business, but also it helps kind of maintain that consistency in funds coming into your account, okay? So any questions on the matching funds or on the Standard Bank partnership?
I've got a question there, Rose.
Yes.
How long does it take? Let's just say, for instance, we've got quite a few people that actually want to invest in our company,
Mhm,
which we're going to send through to Thundafund.
mhm.
How long does it take before the funds are paid to Thundafund and Standard Bank matches it and pays it out back to us?
Okay, good. That's a good question. So in the next 2 weeks or so, we will be helping you with creating your campaign. The goal is to have your campaign go live by the 22nd, latest 23rd, 24th of this month, okay? Once the campaign goes live, you will be raising funds. Funds normally come to Thundafund first. We do have multiple payment options, and this allows you to reach out to as many people from all over the world. We have card payment, PayPal payment, EFT payment, and so on, okay? Once your campaign comes to an end, it takes about 3 to 7 days for the payments to be processed and sent to you. And the reason why is because once the campaign comes to an end, we send you a reconciliation of the amount. And what the reconciliation means is we are sharing the whole amount that you have raised with details of every supporter, and we are able to also apply the platform fee that is deducted from the campaign, and you're able to get an invoice of the final amount that you will receive. At the same time, we also have to wait for the matching funds to be processed by Standard Bank as well, which sometimes take about 3 to 5 days. So accumulatively, we say about, after your campaign comes to an end, approximately 7 days for us to be able to disperse the funds to you. Keeping in mind, there's also, it takes time for us to process the funds because an EFT can take about 1 to 3 working days. So we say an average of about 7 days for you to receive the funds after your campaign comes to an end. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, just one more thing.
Yes.
Does the campaign come to an end immediately once you raise the required minimum?
No. Your campaign can still continue raising even more than the goal you had set. So it's not limited to raise within the goal. It can also go beyond the goal. And if it goes beyond the goal and you want to end your campaign early, it's possible to do so. You just reach out to our team and we're able to end your campaign and start the reconciliation as soon as possible. And if you feel like you need more time, because maybe you have more networks you need to reach out to, it is also possible to extend your campaign as well.
And Rose, on average, what is the fee rate that Thundafund, do they charge the person that's making the contribution or the company that's receiving the contribution?
So when we are applying the platform fee, we are applying it to the amount that's being raised. So that is the amount that you are receiving. So for example, if you had a goal of raising 50,000 and you raised maybe 40,000 Rand, we do take 7% of the 40,000 Rand, okay? And when you're taking the platform fee, we also take the platform fee inclusive of the matching funds, because the matching funds will also reflect on the campaign. So every time you raise funds, if there are any matching funds to be added, we add it to the campaign and it reflects on the campaign as well. Yeah, and maybe to add, there are 2 fees that are applied. The platform fee that comes to Thundafund that helps us maintain our website, our platform, and also our team. But any transaction fee is not applied to the supporter, it's applied to you as well. We will give you the specifics of the rates depending on what platform they used to make the payment. So if they used card and PayPal, those transaction fees will be different. So that is also to be considered. But again, I said we will share the specific details of that for you to keep into consideration. Any other question in regards to the Standard Bank partnership or the crowdfunding in general? Okay, so no questions at this point in time. Like I said, we will share a recording of this for you to kind of go through again. And we will also be sharing the presentation as well. We will provide an assignment, and within the assignment, one of the things we want you to do is number one, we would like you to create an account on the Thundafund platform. We will share those details if it's something you are yet to do. Number two, we want you to start creating your story and your video in the course of the week. I will share questions that will allow you to that once you answer them, it allows you to create your story, okay? I will also share a website. It's an AI website that helps you to also create a story as well. It is beneficial for those maybe who may struggle in creating their own story, and it's a free platform. So it's an AI platform that allows you to maybe ask questions and get answers, or it kind of helps you also readjust or kind of review and correct your story for it to come out in the best way possible. So we'll share that as well. We'll also share a guide on how to create your campaign. So in the meantime, I want you to draft out some rewards you will consider. I want you to draft out your story, and I want you to start thinking of how to create your video, okay? I will share all of this in an email to allow you to reference, but we would want you to start working on your campaign. Like we said, we would want your campaign to go live on the latest on the 24th of this month. We want you to take advantage of people, just people on their plate, so that you're able to get as much as you can out of your networks and as much support as you can get. And from there, our next training will be this week on Thursday, same time, that is from 12 to 1 p.m. I will be sharing a calendar invite, and it will have a Zoom link where we will be able to join the next session. So again, any other questions before we end today's session? So I hope you guys have been able to gain value. I hope you are excited for this journey. We are excited for you that you have been approved by Standard Bank and you have this great opportunity. So again, we will be holding your hands. We will be guiding you and helping you through this journey. And again, we will meet on Thursday for the next training session. And I will share more on what we'll be tackling on this session via email. So again, thank you for joining us today. Please do enjoy the rest of the day, and we will interact soon. Okay.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much.
Yeah. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.